The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and prejudices and the acceptance of love back in our hearts. Love is the essential reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others is the meaning of life. Marianne Williamson.
Welcome to Finneytown Local School District's official podcast, the only place to listen to the in-depth stories from our students, staff, and community members. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Finneytown Wildcats official podcast. I'm your host, Eric Muchmore. Joining me as always, my co-host, Mike Kennedy. MK, how are you today?
Fantastic. Good day.
Great day with two great guests. Megan Clark, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
And Donnell Bell.
You're welcome.
So I have to tell the story now with that greeting. So I did just ask Donnell and Megan about 30 minutes ago to join us on this podcast. Unfortunately, we had another last minute request to reschedule with the guest we had. And so I walked over to transportation, and it wasn't like I just went over there, Donnell. And you have to be honest here, because about a week ago, I was in the hallway and you said, "Hey, Muchmore, when am I going to be on the podcast?"
I was joking.
Well, you didn't say you were joking at the time, because I stored that in my memory and was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's get Donnell on the podcast. And the time found itself today.
Yep. With no heads up.
Right. So we appreciate you being here and your enthusiasm for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So yeah, Megan and Donnell, you both work for transportation, taking care of our kiddos, getting to and from school safely and happily. And we appreciate all that you do. And we want to hear about that. But first, what do we start with, MK?
Rapid fire, take over, Rosa.
Hi, how we doing, guys?
Good.
You feeling good?
Yep.
Thank you for being here. So this is rapid fire, and we have to get you energized and excited about being on the show. We're going to ask you some questions, or I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're just going to answer as honestly as you can. You're allowed to have conversation afterwards if you'd like. You ready for it?
Yep.
Any questions for me? I got questions for you. You ready?
Ready.
All right. What is one thing that you are terrible at that you wish you were really good at?
I think I'm pretty good at just about everything.
That's honest.
I like that.
What do I wish I was better at? I don't know.
Keeping up on cleaning.
Oh, I love cleaning.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, she is.
Love it.
It's like therapeutic.
Okay.
She gets
Yeah.
excited about going home on the weekend to clean.
Yeah. All the time. I think about it all week. Like on Saturday, I'm just going to clean the baseboards or something crazy like that.
Interesting.
Are you busy this weekend? Because my house needs a little bit of attention outside right
Everybody says that.
now. I'm not being serious.
Everybody says that. They want me to come clean for them. I just like doing it. I don't know why.
That's great.
Well, that's perfect. So you're perfect at everything. I love it.
Yeah, basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
MK, I'm curious. What about you?
I wish I was good at writing. If I could have any gift that I don't feel like I'm very good at, sometimes I think I'm terrible at writing. So I'd love to be able to write. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yep.
Mine would be dancing. I'm a terrible dancer.
Like 2 left feet.
Like, it's kind of like how you were about with the podcast.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to dance, but if somebody forces me, I'll do it. But yeah, I'm a terrible dancer. No rhythm. No rhythm.
Wow.
That's me.
I like it. Thank you. Next question. You ready? Would you rather find your dream job or win the lottery?
Win the lottery for sure.
No
Hands
hesitation.
down. No, none.
Because if you win the lottery, you ain't got to work.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need a dream job. Yeah.
It's the same for you, Megan.
If the lottery was big enough, then I wouldn't have to work again.
What's the threshold?
At least $1 million.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it was just some small amount, definitely find my dream job.
I want it either way. I'll just continue to work here.
Okay.
So you have your dream job.
Somewhat, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? Yeah, I was going to say, how about you, Eric? What's your perspective? Honestly.
We had a conversation a few months ago on the podcast about winning the lottery, and I said lottery. I can't remember the exact question,
Yeah.
but I used to think that. But after some reflection, some conversation with some people who have the ability to get me to think again, I changed my mind. I, when you play the lottery, part of the really it's just the dreaming that I pay for because I know I'm not going to win the lottery. So anytime I buy a ticket, it's really just the entertainment to think like, ooh, what if? And that's fun because I picture like a nice house on the beach and trips and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But then after talking about it, I thought like, man, my whole life would change in pretty crazy ways, and the expectations of me, and I think the strain that it would put on the relationships that really give me meaning in my life and are far more valuable than any dollar amount. The strain on those wouldn't be worth it. So I would choose my dream job, which I do believe I currently have.
Nice.
Hmm.
I don't remember what I said, honestly. In this moment, job, how could I sit around? Like I'd be so bored. What would I
Right.
do? Like I live to get up to go to work. So like what would I'd be like, today I'm gonna do what? Stare at the wall. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good one.
Danelle and Megan were both like, "What? What are you
Right.
talking about?" I'm going to go with both for me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like yes, I want the money, but I also I need something to do, and I love to work as well. So I love that. Last question. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a pet or you've had a pet, and it could talk, what would they say about you?
Well, we both have pets. My cat would probably say that I'm kind of mean. Like I push her off the bed all the time. So she would just probably say like, "Hey, let me lay up here with you." She wants to lay up there all the time. So I think that's what she would say like, "Hey, this is my bed too." For sure. Because cats kind of think they run stuff
Yeah.
more so than
Yeah, they do.
dogs do. I think cats kind of think they are inferior to everybody in the house. So
Yeah.
for sure.
I thought you were going to say your cat would say, man, would she just sit down and stop cleaning?
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I don't even know.
What would your pet say? I know you don't have a pet, Eric.
I
but
do, actually.
You have a pet?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we just like to make life as difficult as possible in the Muchmore household with 2 kids under 4. So we added a fish tank, and then we added another fish tank.
Oh, you have fish?
We have fish, we have plants, we have kids, we have
Oh,
yeah. So
tell us more.
yeah. Oh, we have a frog. Yeah, a little frog that is actually an aquatic frog, so it just stays in the fish tank, which is nice. But what would they
Oh.
say about me? They would say, what would they? This is a tough question now that you put me on the spot. They would probably say,
Blub, blub, blub.
right.
Sorry.
They'd probably say, man, I know he keeps saying he likes all these plants in the house, but he really
Oh.
doesn't.
Truth, huh?
Truth, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably catch me.
Yeah.
What about
That's
your
mine.
dog?
Oh, I know that. Well, each one of them say different things, but Ember, the golden retriever, would probably be like, "Can you just let me sleep in the morning?" Because I get up at 3 a.m. I'm like, "Come on, Ember, let's go. I gotta let you out to the bathroom." She's like, "I don't think so. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable laying right here. I'm not gonna move." I'm like, "No, you gotta move. We gotta." So she'd be like, "Can you quit harassing me in the morning?" That's what she'd say.
See, that's why I can't do the dog thing. Like fish, I don't take my fish on walks. They just
Same.
swim in their little thing, and then that's it.
Me and her have
Sprinkle
that
some flakes in.
conversation all the time.
Yeah.
She says cats can just go in the house.
Yeah,
But
you
I've
don't
got
have
3
to worry about
dogs.
it. I don't have to wake up. I don't have to take them for walks. I don't have to do any of that. They just sleep and eat and walk around and meow.
Yeah.
It is
That's it.
I agree. It
That's
is
kinda my
surprising how
issue.
often
Mhm.
we talk about dogs on the podcast.
I'm sorry. It's,
It
it's
is
probably my
it is
fault.
frequent. Yeah,
I
you're a
apologize.
big dog guy.
I love
Okay.
dogs.
Well,
But
thanks for
that's my-
sharing. That
oh,
was
sorry.
fun.
That was rapid fire, guys. Thank you very much. And back to Eric and Mike.
Okay. So dogs, goldfish, dream jobs, and the lottery aside.
Hmm.
You do have jobs here with us, do great things with the transportation department. So can you, what are your positions for those who don't know? And what's the story behind you getting here in these positions at Finneytown?
Do you want to start or you want me to do it?
You can start.
Okay. I've been a bus driver since 2007. It's when I first got my CDLs. I was in my early 20s, telling my age. And I came to I moved to Finneytown, and I just left the previous bus company I was with to come to this one since my kids went to school here. It just made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of moved up from there. Once I was a driver, then I became dispatcher, and then last year I became GM. Well, year before last, we're in 2023 now. So in 2021, I became GM.
There we go.
Yeah.
So how many years have you been with Finneytown?
I've been at Finneytown altogether since 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just over 10.
Yep. Long time. It doesn't even seem like it.
Wow. All right, Megan.
I started here, it's been what, about 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
8 years ago. I started as an aide. I was hired in by Finneytown. That was before your Peterman. My job, my goal was just basically, I took the job as an aide on the bus because I was trying to get my foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get into the school is what my original plan was. No positions ever came available. It just was kind of hard to move up. So I just stayed an aide and I loved it. I was an aide with special needs on the bus and I loved it. And about a little over a year ago, year and a half
Mhm.
ago, the dispatcher position came available when she was moved to GM. So I applied for that and now I'm the dispatcher.
So what's that look like? Like what's a dispatcher do?
Take
Everything.
everything.
Yep.
Routes, contact parents with changes, send out one-call messages when buses are delayed or going to be late, contact parents when things are changed, take care of payroll, clocking employees in and out if they need to.
Mm-hmm. She keeps this place going.
Yeah, no kidding. So all that stuff on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, and I can say firsthand here, working with the transportation department for me has been awesome. ELO, you guys help me out so big.
Mhm.
Every time I have a question or an email, you guys are like, boom, right back.
Mhm.
If I ask for a quote or whatever, you're like, boom. And it's just, I don't know, it just feels good.
Yeah, scheduling field trips. I forgot about
Mhm.
that one.
Yeah, I mean, I work with you a lot. And so,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people in the district feel that way too.
Mhm.
It's just been a pleasure to have you guys. Like, you can feel there's like a team.
Mhm. We
We
try to.
appreciate that because it's a
Yeah,
struggle.
it
We're
is.
always short-staffed. It's hard to hire bus drivers.
Yep.
So
It's hard.
it's,
You guys do amazing things. You really
Thank you.
do.
thank you.
And it's
Appreciate it.
yeah, and it's such an important job that I think many people don't even think about
Mhm.
or maybe take for granted that a bus does show up to pick
Mhm.
up kids. And I mean, my kids aren't old enough yet to go to school, but I can imagine if I were to put my kid on a bus with a driver I don't have a lot of familiarity with, that would be a little nerve-wracking
Mhm.
to put my kids on a vehicle in someone else's hands.
Mhm.
And so the amount of coordination and care that it takes to make sure our kids do get to school safely on time to the best of our ability. We know things happen, but then also on the way home. And I can imagine one of the most important jobs you have is to communicate to families when a bus is late or
Mhm.
has had to take more kids than it typically does,
Mhm.
or maybe there's a fender bender or something,
Mhm.
and having to communicate that the kids are safe, that they
Mhm.
will be home soon, and that they're in good hands is one of the most important features of your job. So I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
think our community does too.
So our season is Impossible. And I think this is our third season. I sometimes forget second, third,
We're on season 3.
three. Yeah.
Mm.
So Impossible is our theme. I know you guys are listeners of the podcast and you've heard that, I'm sure.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like our motto right now. And I'm curious about you guys. Take us to a moment in your life where you discovered you were possible.
I would just say parenthood, honestly, like being a single parent. And I'm sure she can vouch for me for that. That's what we have in common. So, like being a single parent and watching our kids go through school and graduate and do things and know that we're the reason why they were able to do that. We were able to hold jobs and hold down the fort. So, for sure, it'd definitely be parenthood.
Tell us about that journey.
Oh my goodness. I don't think it's enough time in a day. It's hard, but it's rewarding for sure. Every single thing. I mean, my daughters are 21 and 19 now. So just watching them, every single thing that they do, I just take some pride in that. Like that's because of me. I did that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it just feels really good. Even the small things, even things that they don't even realize is really, really good. I realize it. Like, that's a really big deal. And they're like, it's really not, Mom. I'm like, it's huge. Small things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of rewarding to know that everything they do is, I take some pride in that, knowing that I did it by myself.
Well, I mean, you got the floor. You can embarrass them right now. In front. No, I'm joking.
And they both graduated from Finneytown, right?
Monty did. Marche did not.
That's where and Marche graduated.
She graduated from Mount Healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I had Monty
Hmm.
as a student. I did
You
not
did.
have Marche, but I got
No.
to know her
No.
when I was assistant principal.
Mhm.
But two fantastic people,
Hmm.
and
I
it's no
tried.
surprise.
I tried. For sure.
And so you said you have that in common with
Mhm.
Megan. Is that where you were headed, or do you have a different?
No, I would say that's probably the same thing with me. The same kind of deal as her, young single mom. I was a senior in high school when I got pregnant with my first child. So it was a lot to overcome and obstacles to get through, but I graduated right before he was born. Um, that was probably my biggest achievement, I would say, when my oldest graduated high school. Just knowing that, I mean, he was a struggle. He was here. You guys know him, Jordan. He was a struggle, and that was just probably my greatest achievement was him graduating high school. And I've got a senior here. Well, Jaden's at the Oaks now, but just passed state boards yesterday. So now a licensed cosmetologist and
Congratulations.
graduates here in a few months.
Awesome.
Yes. And then my daughter is a junior at the Oaks. And she's been a struggle here. She was a struggle here at Finneytown, but Oaks has been the best thing for her. Now she loves school, straight A's. She's talking about going to college. She wants to be an orthopedic doctor. I mean,
Mm.
they're my greatest accomplishment. And just knowing that I did it. I mean, I was pretty much a single mom of all three my entire life. So knowing I did it on my own. So
Thanks for sharing that.
I mean, I think we all can we have kids and we take care of kids at Finneytown. And we talk about, that's, you guys get to know our kids. You see them in the halls, you know their families. I'm sure you guys are connected.
Hmm.
And I think hearing your stories about your personal kids, like, Mr. Munchmore, Eric had, your daughter,
Mhm.
right? I know we've had Jordan. So like we all have this close knit community, but it is interesting to see ourselves through our kids.
Hmm.
Isn't that hilarious how that happens?
It's crazy.
It is. And I think from your stories, I mean, that I'm possible thing, what is a moment in your kid's life that you noticed an I'm possible moment recently? You mentioned the state board passing cosmetology. Is that
Mhm.
right?
yeah.
Megan? What other moments between you both that you can say that you noticed they're possible moments?
Oh my goodness. I would say I watch my daughter overcome a lot of stuff with her. She has severe asthma. So I watch her just overpower and get through that. And she works here now. She's an aide here. So she comes to work every day. She pushes through. She does the best that she can. And I'm always so worried about her. Like, I'm constantly asking, like, "Do you need anything?" I baby them to death. Honestly, like, I baby them to no end, and I always say, like, "Imma start to let go." No, I don't want to. Like, I baby her. I'm always like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Mom, I'm fine. I'm fine." She still lives at home, and literally, I'll see her if I hear her coughing, I go to her room, I'm like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "I just swallowed my water the wrong way. I'm fine." I'm like, "Are you sure?" So just watching her overcome all the stuff she's been going through the past year has just really made me proud of what she's doing, for sure.
It's a great story right there.
I mean, Imani, when I had her in class, she just walks into a room and makes it like feel good. Like
Yeah.
she's just got that vibe about her that's
Still does.
positive.
She lights up
and
a room.
She
Mhm.
does. She really does.
Yeah.
Great kid.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
How about you, Megan?
A time when I knew my kids. The same. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess with Jordan, it would probably be when he got that baseball scholarship to go to college. And then he's been amazing since. I mean, 24 years old, engaged, has bought a house. Like, he's doing awesome.
Wow.
Jordan's great. Jaden, just everything Jaden has overcome this year. I'm not going to go into detail, but a lot in Jaden's personal life that I could not be more proud of
Mhm.
him. I don't know the words I'm looking for.
Mhm. I know what you're saying.
But yeah, Jaden this year, Jaden has just completely changed this year and let everybody know the person that Jaden is.
Mhm.
And then my daughter, she's just amazing. The stuff she's overcome, so many health issues. She's been through so much.
Mhm.
She's 17 years old now. 17 years old. In the last 2 years, probably has had like 3 surgeries, major health issues, and she's just done amazing. And she pushes through and she does competition cheer and she's awesome. So, and just seeing her, like I said, seeing her go to the Oaks and falling in love with sports med and now wants to go to school and become an orthopedic doctor. And
Oh, that's great.
so she's doing awesome. So I'm proud of all of them.
Well, you mentioned like from both of your stories that there is a journey there.
Mhm.
And with adults and kids, you said, who is your middle child?
Jaden.
Yeah, like just that process of productive struggle, I guess I would call it. That seems like the story's not over.
It's
Mhm.
definitely not.
Right.
We get a chance to redo things. We get a chance at another shot,
Mhm.
which thank goodness, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
how about you, Eric? I know your kids are young, but what with them?
What's your question?
What's been their possible moments?
Oh man. Okay. Um. So I take my kids to the babysitter every single day in the morning. My wife has to be at work. She's a teacher. She has to. They start much earlier than we do. So I take the boys every single morning, and the past 2 months in the morning, my oldest son Arlo, he's really struggled with like waking up knowing that I'm taking him to the babysitter and that I'm leaving to go to work. And so he's been saying, I don't want to go. He's been having some fits, maybe some meltdowns. And it's been really, really. And then I drop him at the door. And for a few months, listening to him for about an hour in the morning, saying how he was going to miss me and didn't want to go. And then the lasting image each of those mornings was the babysitter's door closing and Arlo standing there holding a blanket with the saddest look on his face as it closed.
Oh,
And I'm telling you, there were multiple times where like I would walk off the porch back to my car to go to work, and I'm about to start tearing up right now, but I would be down like, man,
Yep.
that is tough.
It's hard to leave them when
That
they're
is
like that.
hard.
It's tough.
Yes, that's
Really
the
tough.
worst.
Oh my gosh, but it was a long stretch. But he's pulled out of it.
Mhm.
And right, he's good now. And I just had to like sit there and just let it happen, like not try to rescue him, not like just believe in him. And
Mhm.
he overcame whatever anxiety or whatever he was having in that little body and head of his. and he's
Mhm.
good now, and I'm so much happier. My youngest Vinny, he's 2. If you want to ask about him, his I'm possible, man, he's just like me, like physical frame wise. I mean, he is like he's 2 and he's almost 3. He'll be 3 in May. But he might weigh. I mean, he is rail thin. I mean, he's looked like a little stick figure running around my
Can
house.
I get
It's
those
huge.
genetics,
It looks
please?
like a lollipop, right? He's got this big old head and these little, but I mean, there's not much. He's still figuring some things out. His impossible moment is he does not let his big brother push him around. So he's finding his autonomy and his ability to say no to
Mhm.
his big brother. And for someone who struggles to say no at 39, it's impressive that he at 2 it seems to be better equipped to say no than I am.
Mm.
So that's his.
That's cute.
I like how you mentioned believe, like you believed in them. I think from all your guys' stories, I heard that belief in your kids through your voice. And that's our kids here in Finneytown. We believe in them. We believe in our teachers. We believe in our admin team. We believe in our support staff. We believe in every little part. And, you know, having you guys here has been a big honor because, I mean, like Eric said, if we come to school to teach and no kids are there to teach, we're in big trouble, right? So you guys get them there, you know, to school safely and home safely. And like, that's a big part of the education process. It's a team effort. Every little part works together. I know you said, Megan, you were an aide. I mean, I've had so many aides that have been invaluable to kids, and those relationships those aides have had and the support they've had,
Yes.
not just the kids, but like the relationship that the aides have had with the adults too, the other teachers, the other staff members.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was only an 8 on the bus, so I was only with them for 30, 40 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon, but they made such an impression on me. Like Ryan, a couple of the seniors this year that are graduating that I've had them for 7 years.
Oh,
So,
Mhm.
and I love now that they've moved us here into the building and we're not down in the garage anymore. They come to get the recycling and stuff.
Oh,
So every
that's
time they
incredible.
come to get the stuff, they come running in the office and hug me. And
Mhm.
I miss them. I do miss that part of my job, but
Yeah. Those kids
Yeah.
love her.
they're like my own kids.
Hmm.
I love having you guys in the building, by the way. Let me just say that.
We love it too.
Like when I go into Copy Center, I see you guys and I say hi or whatever. Like just having, I don't know. It's great.
It is
Mhm.
much nicer being up here.
For sure. We
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. I know the kids like it too. You get to interact. And,
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah.
Well, I gotta say, this was fun.
Was it bad?
Wasn't that bad, was
I
it?
told you once we threw the headphones on and got going, all that worry would just slowly melt away once we got in the conversation. But we do appreciate very much being willing to come on the podcast, especially last minute, and talk
Mhm.
about your kids and your personal stories and some of the challenges we all face as parents. It's been a good conversation. Anytime I get to listen to, no offense, Mike, but moms talk about the relationship
Mhm.
with their kids,
Mhm.
it's
It's
I
different.
always learn
It is.
something.
It's different. And I liked hearing you talk about it because I don't get to hear
I know
that.
you don't hear a lot of dads talk
No,
about.
not at all.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of a thing that just we connect over. We have kids
Mhm.
and there are struggles that we all face, but it's so rewarding
mhm.
to hear. Well, one, it's nice just to get the chance to reflect. So, Mike, I appreciate you asking me that question.
Yeah. I
Even
knew
though
it
I
made
was
you
like-
uncomfortable for a minute. But
Yeah, but it forced
good.
me to think about my kids' strengths. And I know as parents, or at least me, sometimes I get focused on what they're not doing right or what they
Mhm.
need to do better. But they're doing just fine.
Mhm. And you're still at the beginning.
Right. Yours are young.
Mhm.
And they're doing just fine. No matter how many times they spill food
Right.
Mhm.
or right.
Mine still
Or
You
spills
know,
food. It's
though,
okay.
like with my youngest being 17 now,
Mhm.
I miss those things.
Mhm.
I mean, I do and don't miss, but I do. There's times I miss that dropping off at daycare and them crying and begging me not to leave
Yep.
them because now
They just
care
run
less.
off.
They just
don't
run out
care.
the door.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm working hard to hang on to these moments because I
Mhm.
know they're fleeting.
treasure them.
Mhm.
So thank you for that.
You-
Well,
you
well,
are- you are
well.
welcome.
We got to have you guys back on at some point. You know, like, you know, Now you're a star. So
That's right.
Oh my God.
Well, we want to thank you again for participating, and we want to thank our listeners for listening, whether that's on Spotify, Amazon Music, or any of the other audio platforms. Also, we want to thank those who watch on YouTube now. Danelle's excited for that to go up on air. So be sure to tune in. And if you have an I'm Possible story that you'd like to share on the podcast, please don't hesitate to reach out to either me or Mike Kennedy to get that scheduled. We're trying to reach out to community members or alumni to sit down with us and share what they're up to and how Finneytown matters to them. And until next time, take care. And here's a quick message from our board member, Jaleesa McMullen. Thanks, everyone.
Finneytown is a place that truly thrives. We look beyond our students' differences and allow this to introduce new perspectives and experiences to our lives. It's a place where we value student voice and presence. Our teachers, staff, and parents work together to create an inclusive school culture where all students can feel safe to learn and gain the knowledge they need to excel throughout life. It's a place where we are better together. We grow, we live, we thrive. We are Finneytown. Let's go Wildcats.